All right, I think I'm live. Looks like it. All right. If you can see me, if you know I'm out there, drop me a line in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. This is first time that I'm really doing this, and I want to try and make a good impression, right? So I've got my machine set up so that I've got OBS, I've got my streaming software down here, and I've got all my work stuff up top on another screen where I've got Visual Studio 2017 running. I've got my web browser up here, and I'm only using part of the screen so you can see some of the gadgets and my video here on the right. Cool, thanks, Jeremy. Hey, great to see you here on my stream. Um, so what I've been working on recently, and that I want to share with you, and I want to walk through some of the steps of, I've been building configuration builders. Now, configuration builders, if you're not familiar with them, are a new feature that we released as part of .NET 4.7.1. I know, a new feature and a patch release, but work with me here. What we've done is we've given you the ability to change the way that configuration, project configuration, your application configuration is loaded into your application. So instead of using a standard configuration manager that pulls data out of a web config or an app config file, I know people don't like XML. I know people now prefer writing things in JSON. And in fact, there's some folks out there that like reading ini files. So that's what I started with here is I want to read from an ini file and be able to load up my .NET configuration from that and still get to use my standard and familiar configuration manager to work with and get those values. Right? Configuration manager's been out there for 15 some years. It's part of what started with .NET. So let's give you that same functionality, but be able to store your content, your project configuration, your application configuration somewhere else. And in this case, I'm trying to set up ini files. So this is where my open source project is. I'm on GitHub/C#Fritz. That's my Twitter account, my GitHub account, and of course you found me here on my Twitch account at C#Fritz. And this is fritz.configurationbuilders. Hopefully after a stream or two here, when I'm done writing some more into this, we'll have a NuGet package that folks will be able to download and try out and use because they want to use ini files, maybe a YAML file to load up their configuration into their application. Now, there are some other configuration files that we made available for you out there. If you want to go check them out, I wrote a great blog post, if I do say so myself, here on the MSDN web dev blog called Announcing .NET 4.7.1 Tools for the Cloud. And we have links to the new configuration builders and how you can use them down here at the bottom in our call to action. There it is. So you can read from environment variables and still use Configuration Manager, Azure Key Vault, user secrets. We're actually in the middle of writing some extensions to make this a lot easier to do in .NET 4.7.1 because we know you like doing it in .NET Core. We're going to give you user secrets to be able to use in .NET Framework as well and be able to read and write from a simple JSON file. So these are going to be made open source. They will be released. You will see source code for these appear on GitHub in a few weeks here as we go through wrapping up some of the paperwork around releasing that source code. All right. So here's my source code for my ini files. My ini file configuration builder. I've been working on it here in Visual Studio, and I like writing unit tests first when I build any code here, and you can see where I was monkeying with some things and it didn't work quite right. Now, let's take a look. What's this? Jeremy, and listening to me live code on Twitch. All right, check it out. We're going to do some cool stuff, Jeremy, and I hope you find this valuable. And if you see anything that I could improve in my code, let me know. Drop me a line in chat. I see this as pair programming with anybody who's watching. And of course, you're welcome to submit pull requests over here in my project. We'll triage those and get those into the mix as well. So I have my ini files inside my unit test project here so that I can always get to that same ini file. I've got settings laid out here, and then I've got settings with group headers that I want to be able to load in to my configuration. And I've got unit tests to go through and load those. Now, what I want to do today, and I should reach out and reach out to my friend Martin Woodward, who offered to help me out with this. Mr. Gunlock, my audio is a little low. Have to have it maxed out. Let me push that up a little bit, see what we can get. How's that? Is that a little bit better? I pushed up my mic just a bit more. What do you think, Mr. Gunlock? I'll keep going here. But while that's going on, I'm actually going to reach out to my friend Martin Woodward, who specializes this a bit better. All right, I can go just a little bit further. How's that? Is that better? I have it almost maxed out. In fact, I'll max it out. What do you think? That's maxed out on my mic here. I might be able to push that a little bit further. I'm going to reach out to my friend Martin here. All right. I'm starting streaming now. I have Martin on WhatsApp here on my phone. There we go, a lot better. Cool. Thanks a lot, Mr. Gunlock. I appreciate your comments. So some of my friends from the team, from my my work group, might join in and comment here in the chat. I'm expecting Martin to jump on here because what I want to do today, I've got, this is nice. I've got unit tests. I've got my project here. This is all written in .NET 4.7.1. Notice I'm not using .NET Standard because this is a .NET 4.7.1 specific feature. It doesn't make sense to write this as something that's .NET Standard because configuration builders is only available in .NET Framework. So what I want to do, and what I'm looking for some help with, is I'm actually going to go and build my continuous integration pipeline. I'm going to do that in the VSTS. I know a lot of the folks on the VSTS team have been working a lot on promoting this, doing a lot of stuff with making folks aware of how to do this. I haven't done this yet. I'm not familiar with how to use VSTS to set up continuous integration. However, back in the day, before I started working at Telerik and Microsoft, I did do a lot of configuration of TeamCity. Love TeamCity from our friends at JetBrains. So I'm going to go through and set this up, see how it goes, and hopefully we'll be able to commit some changes and into my project and see VSTS kick off some builds, run my tests, and eventually I'll add in the ability to generate a NuGet package coming out the end of this. So I've got no projects here inside my c#fritzvisualstudio.com group, so I'm going to go through and create this. The project is Fritz Configuration Builders. All right, good. A collection of open source and hopefully useful configuration builders to make configuring your .NET Framework application easier. All right. Version control, yeah, sure, we'll use Git, Agile, yeah, that works. Even though I'm storing my source code on GitHub, I'm told by some of my friends over there that I should be able to configure and use GitHub to build my my project here, to host my project, and then use VSTS to build. So I changed hats last time. I was wearing an Overwatch hat today. I'm wearing an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. hat. I'm going to try and make this a thing where I've got a huge collection of hats. You can't see it, but hanging on my door over there, I've got a ton of different ball caps. I love ball caps, and you're probably going to see me wear a different one each time I run a stream. Okay, get started. Clone to your computer, generate Git credentials, or clone in Visual Studio, or push an existing repository, or import a repository, or initialize, readme, or git ignore, or build code. Ah, here we go. Build code from an external repository. I like that one. All right, set up build. Let's see. Now, if this doesn't work well, I'm going to reach out to my friend Donovan Brown and talk to him. So you can use a build definition to automate your build process. Fritz Configurations Builders team project doesn't have any build definitions. Let's create one. All right. Select a template. Ooh, cool. All right. .NET Desktop. Build and run test for .NET Desktop or Windows Classic Desktop solutions. This template requires that Visual Studio be installed on the build agent. Okay. That sounds like what I want. Build ASP.NET. No, I'm not building web applications. I'm not building with containers. Blah, 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 blah. I like that first one. That .NET Desktop. All right. What do we got? Wow. Wow, look at all these steps that it already configured for me. Use NuGet, use the NuGet tool installer. NuGet restore, build the solution, test assemblies. Yeah, I think that works because I'm actually using NUnit to build my tests. And I've got the adapters in place with my project here, so I'm using ctest fixture. I know some folks out there, some of my friends really like XUnit. I'm a longtime fan of NUnit, so my project, I'm using NUnit. So I have the NUnit adapter in there. I think this should work. I don't really need to publish symbols. That's grayed out. I'm guessing it's not actually going to do that. Copy files somewhere, build or publish artifact drop. Okay. So let's see. What do I do here? Version 0 point star. Okay. Sure. You know what? Let me build solution. Sure, that sounds right. But where's it getting it from? Build configuration release. No. Let me rename this. Let's call this dev, because I want to have it build the dev version. And I don't want it to build release. Let's have it build the debug version. Any CPU, sure. Debug. Let's have it turn that on. Because I want to have it build my dev version and give me, what's going on with that before I do anything. Triggers? Triggers? Continuous integration. There we go. Yes, enable that. Build when any branch changes. Oh, all right. Include master. It doesn't even know where my repository is. How does it know these things? Options. Where do I specify where my foreign repository is here? Retention. Oh, that's kind of neat. And history. What's this up here? Some settings need attention. Agent Q. Hosted Linux. Hosted VS 2017. Sure, we'll do that. What does this mean? When you queue a build, it executes on an agent from the selected queue. Okay. Manage? What does this do? Oh, so it's showing me the agents, I guess. All right. I don't care about that right now. I want to configure. Oh, here we go. From GitHub. All right. We need authorization to access your repositories. I'll just call it GitHub. Authorize using OAuth. Nope, you can open it. There we go. And I can't see anything. Sure. Okay, it needs my password. So I'll give it that password. Did it do something? Looks like it's doing something. Try that again. There it goes. All right, repository. I've got a bunch of these. Can I just say Fritz configuration builders? Can I get the list of repositories? Likely caused by not having the necessary permission to manage hooks. got a lot of repositories I have access to. This one. Cool. All right. Branch. It said it would build all branches. I'm going to leave it on dev for right now. Clean. Clean? Clean? I don't know what that means. I'd like things to be clean. When clean is set to true, perform clean operation based on clean option settings. Sources. Undo pending changes and scorch current repository. Okay. Yeah, clean it. That sounds good. I like that. I like clean. All right, so it's going to go get the data. It's going to NuGet restore. Good, because I needed to bring back my other configuration builders, and I needed that. I'm actually referencing the base configuration builders. NuGet. I don't know what the check mark here is. NuGet restore. Restore. I'm going to restore everything in the solution. Sure. Feeds in NuGet config. I guess it'll go to NuGet.org, right? Version. Okay. Build the solution. VS test. Test assemblies. All right. So build configuration test.dll. Well, the name of my test project is actually just test. I've tried naming things like test.fritz.configurationbuilders or fritz.configurationbuilders.test, and it ends up getting confusing when I go to write using statements. So by just calling my project test, since I'm not deploying it anywhere, it's easy for me to find. And I don't have to monkey with namespaces. So I'm going to actually just change this to test. Default working criteria, sure. Test filter criteria. Whatever. Run only impacted tests. No, run all of them every time. That's why this is continuous integration. Test mix contains user interface tests. No, we're just doing lame user unit tests. Select test platform using. Okay. Sure. Settings file, override test run, path to custom test, run tests in parallel on multi-core machines. So when I run my test, it's actually extracting that ini file and it's writing it to disk. And I've actually got a one-time setup on my test fixtures so that it'll write out that ini file to disk. So it actually behaves a little bit more like a normal configuration when I'm running through my tests. So I don't know what any of these things mean. I'm not going to change them because I don't want to get any more confused than I already am. All right, so I'll look at variables. Okay, so I think these are correct. And I told it to run. Now see, wait a sec. Ref heads master. I don't want it running on that. I want it running on dev. Batch changes when a build is in progress. No? Build pull requests. Sure, I think that makes sense. Trigger status disabled. Let's enable that so that it runs. So every time a change to matching branches. All right, so batch changes when a build is in progress. So let me run that against master. So I guess it'll run against master and every branch below it? And pull requests against master and everything below it, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. That's confusing. That's not clear to me what it's doing. Let me save that. Save build. Select folder. Sure. I don't know what these things mean. Build properties. Okay. Sure. Keep for 10 days. Okay, 1 good build, keep for 30 days, 10 good builds, whatever. Branch filters, I have no idea what this means. Alright. Q? Try and run this? Agent Q. Sure. Okay. Go. Alright, now what? What's going on? Like, is it doing something? What's it doing? Alright, waiting for an agent. Current queue position is 1. Oh, neat. Well, that's cool. It's showing me everything in the little console window there. Go get everything using... Wait. What? Alright. Alright, there I saw it downloading and installing some of the things. 2 errors. What were the errors? Alright. Build failed. What were the errors? MS build exited. What was the error? Add script block, no file, line 1. Visual Studio build. So, what broke? What didn't work? Error. And... note that all assemblies will be resolved from the GAC and will be used in place of reference assemblies. You may not be... okay. Sure. Error, reference or assemblies.NET Framework 4.7.1 were not found. Aha! So I'm building for .NET Framework 4.7.1. This build agent doesn't have 4.7.1. So let's see if we can get a build agent that has .NET Framework 4.7.1. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to use this. So it says managed VS, hosted VS 2017, but it doesn't tell me anything that's in that. I don't know what these things are. Agents for pool hosted 2017. Okay, what happens when I download agent? All right. Create the agent, configure the agent. I want to see what the agent has installed. Confusing. Time to reach out and touch someone. Okay. Well then. This doesn't work for me. It doesn't have the agent that I need, and I'm not going to be able to figure out how to load this in 20 minutes, half an hour. This tells me nothing. I've got a bunch of verbs here. I don't quite understand what this is. Yeah, I'm confused. I don't. I want an agent that has .NET Framework 4.7.1. You can look at the capabilities at the right over the build log. Over the build log. Capabilities. Okay. So it's got Ant, it's got Java, JDK, Visual Studio, VSTS. It's .NET Framework 4.0.3.0.3.1.9. Okay, I want to add. What is this? I want .NET Framework. I don't know what this is. Can I have a PowerShell? Can I have something? This tells me nothing. Great, I've got, looks like a bunch of environment variables here. Yeah. All right. Is there anybody on Teams that can help me? Because, damn. There's like no help anything here. I don't want to search work items. I want help building this. In my build definition, I can add it. Yeah, but I shouldn't have to add a tool installer for our own framework. This is now I'm really confused. Build and release. Default queue, broken, success rate. How do I get back to my build definition? Right, I want to edit this build definition. Is this it? In your build definition, I can add a tool installer. Okay, .NET Core tool installer. NuGet, functional tests, SSH, Visual Studio build. No. .NET Framework isn't here. Okay. So how do I put down a different version of .NET Framework? I'm going to Google it with Bing. Install .NET Framework. Go. No. This is edit upper right. Now I'm looking at my build definitions here, but how do I give it .NET Framework as an option to build? It's create work item on failure. No. It's 4.7.1 is on it. Not sure you can change it. You might have to create your own build machine. Yeah, that's not happening. All right. I'm not going to go through the process of. I have no idea how to build a build machine. I thought this was going to be just a half dozen clicks and it's up and running. But they don't have the framework and the tool that I need because it's not there. Right, broken 9 minutes ago. Can I go back to capabilities? This will show. Sure. Well, so if I take a look at my build definition here, right, it errored out. Where do I see errors? When I actually see the logs. Well, that's not confusing. Blue I expect to be a link, but that's actually highlighting what is already here. So let me scroll down here. Here's my errors, and it tells me reference assemblies for .NET Framework 4.7.1 were not found. .NET, click on Manage next to the queue. Let me go back to the queue. Okay, so that's the list. So I have edit here. Is that what you want me to click on, Jeremy? Okay. And queue name, if I click manage on this, so now I could download an agent and build it, I guess, under summary. I think I'm about a minute behind what you're looking at. I'm going to wait. Capabilities over here. Yep, so right now this says, where'd it go? .NET Framework 4030319. And when I look at mine, so the full version that runs, if I look at, I'm particularly going to go to system.configuration because I know that was updated in this version of the framework. System configuration. Here's the properties I have for system configuration. And I'm going to look at details. And this is file version 472556. This is actually the 4.7.1 version. And I don't think that error means .NET Framework 4.7.1 is missing. All right. So the link that you gave me there, who gave that? Mr. Turds, is, I'm assuming it's a Mr., is pointing to the AdventureWorks hosted pool image, and this was released in October, beginning of October, October 2nd. 4.7.1 wasn't released at this point. I see a bunch of .NET Core SDKs. See Android. I do not see .NET Framework as part of this. I see Visual Studio 15.4. Right, 15.4 didn't come with 4.7.1. 4.7.1 is being delivered with 15.5. 4.7.1 was delivered as part of the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update and the developer pack that came with that. So it looks like I would either need to build my own image, or yeah, I'm going to either need to build my own image or find another solution until the image is updated here, because that doesn't look like the right version to me. All right. And it would be nice here if it said under system capabilities which .NET frameworks were installed on this. Because right now, right, seeing 4030319, that doesn't tell me anything. Because, right, that's not a version that I can look at on my projects and say, oh, it's this version. So I don't see a simple match there. Let me show you my Windows folder here on my machine. So on my machine, scaling. Come here, you. Oh yeah, that's plenty easy to do, isn't it? Ugh. Look at that. Thank you, Windows. All right. I have 2053035 and then 4030319. Yeah. Right? So that doesn't tell me anything. That could be 40, that could be 45, that could be 451. Here we go. What's this from Jeremy? I've got a frowny face. Developer community, visualstudio.com. .NET Framework 471 is not available. Blah, blah, blah. From October. When do these monthly image updates take place? We have a new image under test now and are likely to start the rollout next week. Literally next week, the week of November 27th. Okay. So, it doesn't work here. However, so here's what I'm going to do just to make sure that this isn't running and running out of control. I'm going to disable this, disable that. And in the meantime, no, don't save in queue, just save. Disabled continuous integration trigger. In the meantime, my friends at AppVeyor, did it save? Okay. My friends at AppVeyor have been working on this, and I think they have it working. Let's take a look at appveyor.com. We gave it the old try. We tried VSTS, and yeah, it's not updated. Wrong AppVeyor account. I want to log on with GitHub. I'm 1 week shy of having 471 on the image. Yeah, but see, here's the problem, Jeremy. 471 was released about a month ago. So they're about 1 week shy, they're about 1 month shy of actually doing this, having it coordinated and released on time. All right, so I actually already started taking a look at AppVeyor to see what's involved over here. And I think we can try this. So this failed the last time that I tried to run it, which was some time ago. It doesn't even tell me. 4 days ago when I was playing with it. So let me push up a new version here. I think I have all my code committed. Let me open a command prompt and bring that into the stream. See, look at this. Come on, guys. There we go. And that font size is way too big, because it's from when I was presenting. That's better. All right. Fritz configuration builders, git status. Cool. All right, so everything's pushed up and ready to go. I'm going to do a new build here, but I'm going to point it at my feature branch. It should build all branches. Then why didn't it trigger when I pushed up that feature branch? Let's take a look. Run again. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Jeremy, I'm not thrilled to see it either. We push a new version of Windows, a new version of .NET Framework, and we need to have these auxiliary tools all come online at the same time. Merge remote tracking. No, I don't want to do that build, that branch. Stop. Stop. I want to run against my feature branch. Right, so let me change this. I was looking at feature. This is where I'm currently working. Feature key value. Where I did my merge. Isn't it supposed to put some entries in here or something when I'm using AppVeyor? Let me look at this. So when I say new build, I should be able to, right? Settings. This feels weird to change that to say the feature branch name, but I guess I'm going to do that. Feature key value mode. All right, feature key value mode. Feels weird, but let's give it a shot. Save, good. Settings are saved. Latest build, new build. And there it goes. Yeah, now look at that. It found the right branch. It's running that. Good. And I thought, isn't there, how do I do my GitHub? GitHub integration with AppVeyor. This one. It's not even on the front page anymore. Look at that. Huh. There it is. You've already granted it? Good. Build process, switch between test results and artifacts. All right. Open source, install it for free. Good. No billing. Complete order and begin installation. There it is. Building. So let me look at that project. And there's a way to push updates into GitHub. Where is it? Is it notifications? Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Right, how did we do this? Queued, okay. Wish I knew how far down the queue I was. What's this one? Nah, go away. Where is it? There's a way to get that current build status, and I guess it was just the badges, huh? SVG image URL. So is it under services? Oop, failed. What did we fail with? Reference assemblies for framework 471 were not found. Aha! Now I thought we got a message from the AppVeyor folks that they installed this. So let me go to environment. Oh, okay, there. I see what you're saying about services. Check digits. Select service to enable. No, this looks like other things that you want running on that same host. I thought the 2017 preview would do it. AppVeyor, .NET Framework 4.7, not 2, 4.7.1. Hey, I know who wrote that blog post. I thought... Oh, you know what? It's under support. Where'd it go? Updates. WDK for Win 10, 1709. Okay, so 1709, that's the Fall Creators Update on the Visual Studio 2017 image. All right, let's take a look at that one. Ah, wait, it was actually 3 down there. Armadan, OW, hello, how am I doing? I'm doing great, Armadan, thanks for joining in today. I am trying this out here. I'm trying to get my .NET 4.7.1 project to build. Here we go, 4.7.1 support. Here we go. .NET 4.7.1 has been deployed to build workers. Okay, which ones? Wonder if they only deployed it and they didn't put down the dev pack? No, they couldn't do that. 1868. 1868? What's 1868, Jeremy? I'll change this to 2017. And retry my build over here. That's the work item. Oh, yeah. All right, so I'm going to try that build again. Let's see if it works since they said they deployed to the 4.7.1 here. Build started. Yeah. Go on. Do tell. All right. Could not resolve a reference. Uh-oh. There we go. NuGet package is not found. All right, well, wait a sec. That's a little bit different. We're getting somewhere. Any file parser. Right, that's something it needed to load. Microsoft Configuration Builder's base. That's, yes, needs to be loaded from NuGet. Needs to be loaded from NuGet. Key value config builder from NuGet. Yeah, it's stuff it needs to overload from NuGet. All right, so I've actually got 4.7.1 building here, but it's not actually building. It needs to do the restore properly here. So there's something wrong with my build configuration. Default branch. Yeah, that's fine. Right, I should, where is it? There's a NuGet restore here. It should be doing first. Contains all NuGet packages, push to artifacts, project feed, API key. No, I'm not pushing out. Let's look at the build. MS build options enable parallel builds, package web applications. Okay, so it should be doing a NuGet install first. What's build script? Ugh. I should have found this. And it should be doing the NuGet install first. Right? Doing the NuGet restore. Should be in my build section. That's what I thought too. I was over here looking in the build section. Configuration, platform default, project default. Sure. Platform, sure. But I don't see enable. I don't want to package NuGet projects. I want to restore NuGet first. And that's not here. So how do I do that? App-var restore. Looks like I'm not the only one who had this question. If you have enabled NuGet package restore for Visual Studio Solution, it'll automatically be triggered in the app-var. Really? To use app-var retry. Where is it? Visual Studio NuGet restore. If you have, it'll be automatically triggered in the app-var build environment as enable NuGet package restore environment variable is already set to true. Okay. So let me look at my project. Properties. No, it's not in my project. If you have enabled NuGet package restore for Visual Studio Solution, it'll be automatically triggered. That doesn't make sense to me. It's... I don't see anything here for enabling to build the NuGet package restore. Right, I would expect this to be kind of a thing. Armadan. Interesting. I generally don't rely on app-var doing that and would rather have a build script that I can run from anywhere. Well, you know what? I kind of agree with you, but I have a packages config there. Just run NuGet install. I mean, you clearly know what this is, and it doesn't know how to do it. Right? I mean, let's take a look at that last build. Git clone, git checkout, and then ms build. It's not doing a NuGet restore. It just fails. It never attempted to restore packages. All right, hang on. I have another project here that I thought I had doing this properly. Right, if I look at this one, see, it's calling NuGet restore after it does its git checkout. There we go. There's Martin. There we go. Yep, but it doesn't have 471 installed yet. All right. So how am I getting NuGet restore to function here, but it's not over on the other one? Branches to build. If I look at the build configuration, aha! I actually had to hard code it when I ran this. All right, so let me go back to the other one. Settings, build. Before build script, here we go. Command NuGet restore. All right, and that's not the name of my solution here. My solution here is, what's the name of my solution? Now I'm getting click happy. Fritz configuration builders SLN. All right, so we'll just change this. Fritz configuration builders SLN. Save. Good. Give this one more try. Space shot. It's my buddy Chris. Hey, it's going great, Chris. Thanks for joining me here today. We'll see how things go. We're going to run one more build here. And just to update folks who may be joining me here, gosh, I've been going for how long? I've been going for about an hour now. We tried setting up a build on VSTS. This project that I'm working on, it uses .NET Framework 4.7.1, and Framework 4.7.1 is not available on VSTS yet. So we're over here on AppVer, where they just pushed an image that has a build agent image that has 4.7.1, and we're giving that a try. And it looks like we're going to get it to work here. Let's see. My friend Martin here is on WhatsApp, which it released with fall creators update. That's not how you spell creators. And it comes with 15.5. But is an add-on prior to that. Yes, Martin, I am writing WhatsApp to you live on Twitch. Enjoy! It's nothing secret that we're sharing here. All right. Let's see if this works now. I love waiting for builds. Stream looks great. How do I like it? Well, Chris, you know what? I think streaming, if we can get this down, if we can get into a couple different formats, I think there's some things that we can do here that'll be really exciting, really interesting, and we can really make this like the next generation of podcasting. Really take things with streaming to another level. I've left some space on the screen above the follow tags here on the right, just above me. I'm not quite sure what to put in there yet. I should probably put one of those follow alert things to appear down at the bottom of the screen or something, with one of those funny GIF animations that appears and sounds whenever I get follows. I'm flattered you guys are joining on and following here. But we'll see how it goes. I like doing this. I'm not sure how frequently I can do it. I'm going to try and do it at least once or twice a week. I've got a couple of friends that I want to line up for visits. Maybe I'll use the space above me here to put their image from Skype when they call in and chat with us here on the stream. I have at least one other person that I'm working on a project with that we'll see if she wants to join us here on the stream. She sounded interested, and of course, my coworkers, colleagues. I'm sure I'll ask them at some point if they want to join us, and then it'll be up to them, whether or not we get them on stream. And this is taking a real long time to build. It looks like it's cute, and I've got this blue blinky thing. All right, maybe it's doing something. Gosh, all I did was add the NuGet install. Let's see what Chris says here. I don't know that they have to mimic gaming stream formats. You're right. I think we can reuse presentation content, webcasts, and also some more chill live streams like I'm doing now. Yeah, I agree. I like the idea of doing pair programming on the stream. I think that's a great opportunity here. I really like talking to the chat here for the past couple minutes when I was running through these issues with AppVer and VSTS to try and get things configured. It's great to have a group of folks out here all looking over my shoulders as it is and watching how I'm messing up. We're not actually even writing code yet. We're just trying to get a build working. And man, this build is taking a long time to come through. Come on now. Oh man, once live share comes out, wow, there's a real opportunity here. You're right, Chris. Visual Studio Live Share, for those of you who didn't see the information from our from the Connect event, Live Share is a way for us to pair program and be using the same Visual Studio instance virtually You work on your Visual Studio, whether it's Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio 2017. I work on mine, and we can see where each other is working and interact with each other right there on the page. All right, so it ran NuGet restore, but, there we go. Restoring NuGet packages. It got my 4 packages. Cool. Doing the install, added packages to folder. Oh, it might work. Might work. All right, installed 4 packages. Let's see, MS build. Good. So now it's actually building my DLLs. I think it would be absolutely to have a ton of these. How do you pronounce your name there? Is it Armadon Owl? What is that? And then is that Lantainer? Lantianer? Lantainer. I'm guessing you're in networking. So, very cool. Thank you guys for joining me here today. I'll be happy to demo that with you when live share becomes widely available. I applied for the preview. Well, I might have some folks who are internal who might be able to get me in before some of those previews get out to the public. So we'll see about doing some live share. All right. So my build failed, but I think it failed properly here. Let's see. So it finished running all of my build and actually delivering my DLLs here. And here it is running the unit test. Okay. So one of my tests failed. Should not apply app settings to connection settings. Cool. So this is actually the same unit test that I have failing over here. So it's the same unit test. So I'm at the same spot. Fantastic. Let's see what's Chris say here. If you folks haven't seen what live share is all about, and he's got a link to the live share information. Yeah, very cool information about live share. My friend Amanda Silver is working on that. Really neat stuff for live share. Maybe I can get Amanda or some of her team to show me a little bit about that and get me on the list early so we can take a look while it's still being built. All right, so I've got the same test failing that I had over in Visual Studio, so this is actually what I want to happen. Cool. Let me see, I can see my test output. Fantastic. That looks really cool. Did it put that on my GitHub somewhere? Isn't there a way to put that on GitHub? I thought there was a way to get that output here and show me what the... Oh, there they are. The little, no, the little X's. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. So let me come back here to AppVer, and I'm going to change my settings for this. I'm going to go down to, oops. Nope, let me go back up. Come on. Default branch, I'm going to change this back to master. And I think it'll build all of my branches then, right? So if I come back over here, see, I thought there was a way that it would show you that like right here on this message thing when they were, when it was doing a build. I guess I'm wrong, right? Yeah, I thought it would show me the AppVer result right in here. All right. That'd actually be great encouragement for having a bunch of people do this. All right. So let's, you know what I want to do while I'm here? Isn't there a badges thing? There it is. I'm going to grab the badges. I want to put this on my README. Yep, build failing. Blah, blah, blah. Simple markdown code. Perfect. Wait, master branch status badge. Raster branch image URL. All right, let me grab this one. And I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to edit my README. Let me click into that. And where is it? Where's the edit button? There's an edit button here somewhere. There it is. The pencil, of course. All right. So let's put build status. And we'll just... oh, gosh. Right, how does that look? Let me look at the preview, see what that looks like. Yeah, that's fine. added appveyor badge. Always got to have a message here. Commit directly into the master branch. Sure. All right, so it's in the master branch, but I'm actually working down here in feature. Right, so I work in feature branches when I write source code. This way, I can merge those changes back and forth without without affecting what I'm actually going to publish, what is actually being released. Okay. So cool. I'm glad to see you guys are chatting there in the chat window. Let me see. Let's Yep, Martin is confirming for me that yes, that version that I was looking for is not available. So I am currently, let me merge in this change that I put inside the master branch down here with my feature branch. So my current branch, I'm going to run Git Branch. You can see I'm in feature key value mode. Let me pump up that font size just a little bit. Cool. All right. So let me go back over to master. Let me run a git pull. Cool. So the only thing it brought in was readme. So now I'm going to check out my feature branch, which was feature key value mode. All right. And now let me merge master. Cool. All right. So let me do a git push into my feature key value mode branch here on GitHub. Done. Updated. So over here, if I refresh, build pending. Ah, look at that. All right. And recently pushed branches, so I could compare and send a pull request. All right, I don't need pull requests because it's just me. It would be a good process, but let's go to this. I don't need that. Don't need that. Cool. All right, so I can see it's building, and it's still going to fail because I still have that failing unit test. So let's fix that unit test and let's try and turn this project green. Sure, go ahead, reload. How does the screen look? Is the screen too big? I tried to broadcast at high def, but my streaming it was erroring out. I was dropping frames when I would try and go to a higher resolution. So I had to step down my resolution here a bit just to make sure that I could build, that I can run unit tests from Visual Studio. So I'm actually, what is this? I'm at 720, I believe I'm at 720p instead of full 1080. Looks good to you guys? I mean, I was more concerned with getting a complete cohesive quality stream instead of higher resolution. So, all right. I'm in Visual Studio 2017. If I look at my test explorer, I can click run all and it'll go through and run all my tests. And there it goes. Build succeeded. Here's my test running. There's my one failed test. All right. So my one failed test is this one over here. Should not apply app settings to connection strings. So here's the problem. Here's the feature that I'm trying to put into place. If you have app settings that look like this, where you've defined a section called app settings in your ini file, and you have another one called connection strings, and you configure your configuration file and say, hey, process connection strings, it shouldn't apply the app settings section to that. However, I've had to change the way that this works a little bit, and I've had to actually specify a section tag that says apply this section to with this configuration. So the problem that I'm running into is I've configured a connection string section. I've got a ini configuration builder. Where is it? I'm doing this. So my one-time setup here, I don't need this XML anymore because I'm not configuring like that. It's actually reaching into the section called App Settings, and those are the settings that it's applying. But I'm telling it to process and apply those settings to the connection string section. So actually, I don't think this unit test is valid anymore. So I'm actually going to remove that. Okay. And just to make sure I have a real world scenario that shows this working. Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn on live unit testing because I like live unit testing. And who doesn't? I love getting all my code working properly for me. What is this? What is that? That's better. Here we go. So my tests are running. There they are. They're all run. That goofy X at the bottom is gone. All right. The field greedy with any. Let's see. What's this? Oh, I'm not using these anymore, so let's get rid of those. Don't need to allocate additional features. Let me commit and push. Let's take a look. All right, let me add that. No. Cool. Let me commit. Removed invalid test. And push. All right. Now, just to make sure that my tests are completely valid, I'm going to add a console project here. Just to make sure that I have a test that, not a test, but a full use case scenario sitting here that shows that, yes, this does work properly. So I will call this just a full console app. Or you know what, let's call this, I don't want to call it test because I don't want AppVeyor to think it can test it. Let's call this integration test. All right, so now I have a console. Go away, Server Explorer. Here we are. All right, so now I have a integration test, and let me reference my other project. Project Fritz Configuration Builders looks good. And I am going to add an ini file because I want to make sure the ini file works, right? It's a new item. It is a text file. There it is. And I will just call this config.ini. Okay. And let's just do something like that. We'll call this another setting equals set properly. I don't care. What I want to do is I want to write this. I want to write my integration test here just to go through, read those using my new configuration builder properly, and then I should be able to see them pop out. Eldorian's here. Thanks a lot for jumping on, JR. I'm excited for live sharing. One of the teams I was on a couple of years ago could have strongly benefited from it because we exclusively did pair programming on the project, but it was a challenge if someone was working remotely that day. You know what? You're right, JR. I've been working remotely now for, 5 years. And working with another programmer on this, you end up having to share screens, and one of you is watching, and then if you had to flip-flop back and the other one wanted to start driving, then it became this real challenge. Or you ended up inside Skype or Link or whatever they're calling that app this week, saying, share control, pushing that back and forth. Not a fan. Possible, but it wasn't as convenient, as having two hands on the same set of code at the same time. Eldorian, just able to ping someone, have them help out without getting up and physically come over is going to be huge. You're right, but on the other hand, there's something to be said for getting up and walking around, you know? Okay, yeah, it's sometimes a waste of time, but yeah, you're right. Not having to get up, that's, yeah, okay. But my eye doctor told me a long time ago, make sure you look away every now and again, focus your eyes on something out in the distance. And it sounds weird saying that now because for the past 5 years I'm staring at the wall in front of me here in my home office. But you got to get up, you got to look around and look at things so your eyes focus on different things. And of course, we could all use walking around a little bit more instead of sitting in a seat for 8 hours. All right, so I'm going to add my configuration builder in here. But to use the configuration builders, we actually have to add configuration sections into our app config or web config. So I'm going to cheat. There's a couple ways that you could do this. I'm going to add the NuGet package that I'm referencing from, actually, did it bring it in automatically for me? Fritz configuration builders. It didn't bring in the other one that I'm referencing here, the configuration builders base. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to manage NuGet packages. Chris is agreeing. His eye doctor told him that at one point also. Logitech C920. Yep, I have a C920 here. Blue Yeti mic. Blue Yeti's nice. This is a Rode podcaster I'm using. I've been using this for years. My friend Jesse Liberty recommended it to me a long time ago, and I've been using it ever since. I use it for everything, so it sounds pretty good. When I work in a huge building where the person you want to have help takes 5 to 10 minutes to get to your desk. Okay, yeah, you got a good point there, JR. That's pretty far away. All right, so let me do a search here for configuration builders. Right now, these are in pre-release, so just to make sure that I get one, I'm going to add the environment to this project. Yes, I'm going to accept. They're being downloaded and installed. Cool. So I should have in my app config. There we go. So I've got a config section. Right, this is the way we do things for the longest time with Configuration Manager. You define a config section that has information about the different things that you now want to do with your configuration. So config section, we define config builders. This is the new configuration builders section that comes with .NET Framework 4.7.1. And then I'm referencing my config builders. So here's the one that was added by default because I installed the environment one. It's saying add, name is environment, and then here's that big long type for this. And the engineers that I work with, the guy who wrote this, his name is Steve. He wrote this config transform here, so it loads everything up for you so that right away you don't have to add new things just to get that capability. Well, I'm not going to use the environment one here. I'll use that just to cheat to get this to load. So the type of the one I'm using, well, here's my ini configuration builder over here. So I'm pulling this out of Fritz configuration builders, and it's called ini configuration builder. So let's get rid of this type here. Come on, function. That way, there we go. All right. Fritz configuration builders, and it's not that. Right, we gotta have this as, it's the assembly name second, the full Fritz configuration builders dot, there we go. That should find it. Now I want to have app settings. I should be able to do that. There we go. And you know what? I'm not even going to list anything. I'm going to come up here. I have different features on these configuration builders that I can light up. So check this out. Because I'm using a key value config builder has the ability to specify a mode. So I'm going to specify I want greedy mode. Greedy mode says go load up all the settings you can find and put it here. So mode, and I'm going to call this greedy. And then the other setting that I want to use is I need to specify my location, and that's using a location tag on this. So I need to specify location equals, and then I'm going to pull this from, well, I want to pull it from my config ini. Let me copy that to my, I'm going to configure this so that it doesn't build anything, but I want to have that copied to my output folder, right? So now if I change this and say config.ini, that should copy to my output folder. So let me right click here and say build. Where is it? Debug. No, I don't want to debug, just build. Right, build started, succeeded, cool. I'm going to open in File Explorer. There we go. So if I look in bin, debug, there, config ini. So this should load that when I run. All right. Next step here. All right, static void main. So what I want to do is I'm going to actually write out all the app settings that it finds. So let's do this. Let's do, where'd that come from? Go away. There we go. I like to use 2-space tab settings. This way more stuff fits in as I go to the right. And if I want to copy this sample code out and put it into a blog post or into a book or some other publication, it's easier to read. You don't have as many tabs. I know people swear by 4 or 8 tabs. I go only 2. That's all you really need to make sure that things go across. So my settings are going to be under Configuration Manager, App Settings. And I think it's .settings, but I need to make sure that that reference to Configuration Manager is in. No. Let's double check, make sure this is a 471 project. Cool, all right, 471. Why am I getting that? No. Why am I not getting my using statement for configuration? Manage references. Oh, cool. Thanks for the tweet, Chris. Let me see. I need to go into assemblies. I'm going for system configuration. Cool. Give me my using statement. Why aren't you giving me my using statement? I want my using statement. Damn it. System. Where's configuration? Come on now. Oh, wait. Var settings equals configuration manager. Now I'll do my control dot. There it is. All right. App settings. Cool. All right. So now I should be able, let me change this to just the keys. That'll make it easier to rifle through these. No. All keys. Cool. All right. And I'm going to do a for each. Sure. Item in keys. And what I'm going to do is I want to just console write. Console write line. I'm going to use a $sign here. So I get the string interpolation features in C#7. And I will console write line. Here are my current app settings. All right. So I will output the name of my key, and I will specify then configuration manager, app settings, and then the name is going to be the item. Isn't it .value? All right, let's go with that. Console readline. Because I want it to pause at the end. Let me see what actually ran. All right, let's give it a shot. Starting a new instance, building. Here are my current app settings. And there's nothing there. What happened? Why didn't I get my app settings? Oh, no. All right. I know why. So I specified the builder name here is ini, but I didn't actually apply it to the app settings. I need to actually specify config builders equals ini. Now it should work. Give this one more shot. Chris says that it seems a really common sight in presentations. Come on, IntelliSense. Is it a lot of work to match up a random identifier with a possible library? Well, if I'd actually formatted my code properly, that'd be different. So here we go. There we go. Here are my current app settings. Setting correct test result, another setting set properly. If I go back over here and I look at, it wasn't many settings, but where did my ini file go? It wasn't this one, it wasn't that one. Right, we just loaded config ini. There it is. Setting correct test result, another setting set properly. Cool. So now I've got an integration test that actually does the whole shoot and match and loads those things up properly. So I think, now that I've got that confirmation that it's loading up my ini file and outputting these things properly, I think I'm in a pretty good place to say let's publish this code live. All right. So let's go back over to my console window here. Let me do a git status. I am going to add that integration test and commit that. Excuse me. Added integration test project. Oh, wait, gotta add the solution file also. Right? Cool. Added integration test project. Let's push. Cool. I'm going to come back over here. All right, GitHub's got all my latest information. And there we go. It's triggering a build over on AppVeyor. Fantastic. Tabs and spaces living together, mass hysteria. That's right, Chris. Tabs that are actually spaces. 2 spaces. That's the way we do things over here. Build success. Yes. All right. Everything's green. All right, so now, right, if I did a pull request to merge this into my master branch, right? Yeah. I know I changed files. Holy crap. What happened to my rendering here? Come on, catch up. All right, feature key value mode. First support for ini files. These branches can be automatically merged. Create the pull request. All checks have passed. Look at that. Look at that. Waiting for AppVeyor build to complete. That's so cool. John Galloway. What if you set your tab width to 1 space? Then everyone would be happy. You know what, John? Because 2 is better than 1. Wasn't that a song? Who sang that song? 2 is better than 1. I remember hearing that during a Bill and Ted movie. 2 heads are better than 1, right? Something like that? No, 2 spaces, man. 1 space, ugh, looks terrible. Terrible! You're right, Chris. Visual Studio was getting grouchy there. I have the power tools installed. There it is. You have mixed tabs and spaces. Fine, Tabify. All right, so I'm using the config builders. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Yeah, that's true. Another follow here, check digits. Who's check digits? That's a really cool name. welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for following. I appreciate it, guys. We'll see how this goes. I think this is a fun experiment. Um, I think since this built properly, I think I can start. Can I start building a NuGet package from this? But you know what? I've been going at this for an hour and a half. I think I'm going to save building the NuGet package for another stream. Maybe I can get some of our friends there. I saw Jeremy jump on. Martin had a comment. Maybe I can get somebody to jump on to help me out with moving things from AppVeyor to VSTS, and we'll package this up as a NuGet package. I think that's not a bad idea. So I'm going to write some docs for this. In the meantime, I'm not going to make any more code changes, but I'll write some docs to go along with this. So I have nice a nice page over here on my project. I'm going to merge this into master. Completed initial ini file support. Cool. I'm going to delete that branch. Fantastic. So, and I've got to build passing here. Everything works. Can't I tag from here? Can I tag from here? I'm going to do it. I like doing things on the command line. Git checkout master. Yeah. Let's do a git reset. Get rid of that. And, oh, Chris is going to try out the code. Cool, thanks, Chris. I'm going to, what do I want to do here? I want to do a pull. I'm going to do a Git Branch Delete on the feature key value mode. So now if I do a Git branch, I should only have dev and master. Fantastic. I'm going to edit my documentation here on the front page for my README. And I'm going to prep to publish this as a NuGet package. I'll do that in my next stream, and hopefully I will get some folks to help me with some VSTS. But it's been an hour and a half. I want to wrap this up so that it's a little bit more consumable for folks. I don't want to have long 2-4 hour streams. So thanks so much for following me. I'm going to do some more stuff as far as setting up some things around the stream. Maybe I'll figure out what to put in the space up above me here. But let me know what you think. Drop me a line here, either on the stream, in the chat box here, or drop me a line on Twitter. I think this can be something I do on a regular basis. So let me know what you think. Thanks so much.